Mid-19th century football was chaos. Schools played with contradictory rules, leading to constant arguments and even violent physical brawls. Confusion reigned supreme. A match between schools felt like war, as no one agreed on the basics of play. The chaos could not continue. On October 26, 1863, clubs met at the Freemasons' Tavern in London for change. Their mission was daunting: create a universal set of rules that everyone in England would finally follow together today. The biggest debate: whether to allow players to carry the ball. It was a clash of two different philosophies. Those who favored the rugby style walked out. They insisted that using hands was essential to the game's true spirit. The remaining members stayed behind. They voted to strictly forbid carrying the ball, creating what we call association football. This moment changed everything. By choosing the feet over the hands, they defined the soul of the modern beautiful game. Football association rules were printed. For the first time, clubs could play each other fairly, anywhere across the country. This was the birth of a global phenomenon. From London, these rules would eventually conquer the entire world's sporting culture. Teams quickly adopted the new rules. The game became faster, more tactical, and far more exciting for the growing crowds. Local clubs formed across England. Workers would finish their factory shifts and rush to the nearest pitch to play. The sport was no longer just for the elite. It became the identity of the working class in every town. Rivalries grew intense. A match between two neighboring towns was more than a game. It was a battle for pride. Rules continued to evolve. Referees were introduced to ensure fairness, as the game became increasingly professional and highly competitive. The introduction of the crossbar replaced the old tape, making goal scoring more defined and officially easier to track accurately. Goalies gained special status. They were the only players allowed to use their hands, a rule that defined modern defense. Football clubs built their first real stadiums. Wooden benches and simple stands began to replace the open field surroundings. Fans were passionate. They sang songs, cheered loudly, and supported their teams with a dedication that echoes until today. Newspapers began covering match results. Football stars became public figures, recognized and celebrated in their local communities everywhere. England's Football Association Cup was launched. The world's oldest tournament proved that knockout football could produce massive drama. Small clubs dreamed of victory. The beauty of the cup was that anyone could beat the giants of England. Professionalism changed everything. Players started getting paid, allowing them to focus entirely on improving their skills and match tactics. The game started traveling globally. British sailors brought their rules to ports in Asia, Europe, and South America annually. Language barriers didn't matter. Football was the universal language that connected different cultures through one simple, leather-bound ball. In Argentina, local clubs emerged. They took the English rules and added a flair, intensity, and deep emotional connection. Football became a symbol of national identity. It was a way for countries to assert their presence on the map. The global spread was unstoppable. By the turn of the century, football was firmly established as the world's favorite sport. Tactics became more complex. Managers emerged, studying the game to gain a strategic edge over their strongest rivals. The foundations for the FIFA World Cup were laid. The sport had grown enough to deserve a global championship. Leagues began to form across England. Clubs needed constant competition to keep their players sharp and fans fully engaged. Travel became easier by rail. Teams could now reach faraway cities, sparking intense rivalries that lasted for generations. Football became a weekend ritual. Thousands left their homes every Saturday to watch their local heroes play for glory. Women started watching the game too. Their presence brought a new social energy that transformed football into family entertainment. Equipment improved over time. Leather boots with studs were invented, giving players better grip on the slippery, wet pitches. Referees were officially given authority. Their role changed from being mere observers to active managers of the game's flow. Offside rules were tweaked often. The goal was to prevent players from waiting near the opponent's net for goals. Stadiums grew significantly larger. Terraces were built to hold even more fans, making match days feel like massive, loud festivals. Clubs became the heart of communities. They provided hope and pride to towns that faced economic hardships and struggle. The international demand rose. Other European countries sent officials to study English rules, wanting to adopt this popular sport. Scottish clubs challenged English teams. These early cross-border matches were the true seeds of international club-level competition. The game was getting faster. Players developed better techniques for dribbling, passing, and controlling the ball under high pressure. Stadium security became essential. With massive crowds came the need to manage the excitement and keep players safe. Youth academies were slowly established. Clubs realized they needed to train their own local talent for long-term sustained success. Financial struggles hit many clubs. Football was expensive, and teams had to learn how to manage their growing budgets. The public's obsession grew daily. Football reports dominated the sports pages, becoming a staple in every household across England. Innovations in ball manufacturing arrived. Better stitching made the balls lighter, allowing for more precise kicks and longer passes. The game faced criticism from elites. Some feared football was too vulgar, yet the people's passion never once faded. National spirit thrived in stadiums. The game became a platform for expressing regional pride and local community cultural identity. 1900 arrived with huge potential. Football was now a major cultural force, ready to expand beyond any borders. Clubs started searching for global talent. They wanted the best players to compete and win their prestigious league titles. Coaching evolved into a science. Managers started studying nutrition, fitness, and tactical formations to gain a competitive winning advantage. Players became local heroes. Their names were chanted by thousands, creating a bond between the city and the team. The pitch itself was improved. Better drainage systems allowed matches to continue even in heavy rain, delighting the fans. International tours were organized. English clubs traveled across Europe, showing others how to play the game with proper organization. Football rules were translated globally. The game was becoming a shared language for people across every single continent. World-class stadiums were dreamt up. Architects started designing venues that focused on visibility, sound, and a great fan experience. Rivalries turned into legendary sagas. These matches were passed down as stories to younger generations of dedicated, loyal fans. Injuries were treated on the pitch. Medical care was primitive, but the grit of the players was absolutely unmatched. The sport united the working class. It provided a reprieve from the hard, long hours in the smoky factories. Every victory was a celebration. The town would come alive, with parades, music, and a sense of shared triumph. The impact was purely psychological. Football gave people a sense of purpose and a community to belong to daily. The game never stopped growing. It survived financial crashes, societal changes, and even the threat of global war conflicts. 1863 was the vital catalyst. Without that tavern meeting, football as we know it simply would not exist today. The rules remained mostly constant. They provided a stable framework that allowed the game to flourish across different cultures. Legends rose and eventually retired, but the game they played lived on through the passion of their dedicated fans. We owe the pioneers our thanks. They created a culture that defines how we connect with each other globally. Football is our collective story. It represents our struggle, our joy, and our endless capacity to dream big dreams. The stadium is our sanctuary, a place where nothing matters except the ball, the game, and the shared passion. We are all part of history. Every fan, every player, and every viewer contributes to this amazing global narrative. 1863 set the stage firmly. It was the spark that ignited the flame of the world's most popular sport. Modern football is the result. We play and watch it today because those men gathered to agree on rules. Keep celebrating this beautiful game. It is a gift that belongs to everyone, regardless of where they are born. History is happening right now. Every match played adds to this incredible, ongoing, and thrilling human epic adventure today. Thanks for watching. Order now for custom branding videos and subscribe for more amazing football history from Historiopedia.